please. Okay. Um. eh, Okay. Assalamualaikum and good evening. First of all, let me introduce myself. You can call me Shasha, and these are my group mates. You all can introduce yourself too.
My name is Yin.
Hi, my name is Sakina. You can call me Ajwa.
My name is Irina.
My name is Umul.
Okay, so before we start our interview, may we, you may introduce yourself first.
Assalamu alaikum. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes, but your voice is not that loud. Maybe because you are kind of away with your mic.
Is that better?
Yes, sure.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Ali Jawad Al Rashid. I'm from Bangladesh, studying at KAID currently, and I'll be your interviewee for today. Yes.
Okay. I think for the first start, we can having a casual talk. You may tell us about your education background, uh, where where you're studying at right now, and what kind of major you're taking right now, and about anything else that you can share to us.
My bad. Could you repeat that again? The internet is a bit troublesome at Zubair right now. So
Yeah. Sorry. The question was, you may tell us where you're studying at right now, or maybe what major you're taking at, what kind of major? What's your major?
so currently I'm studying at UIA under the Department of KAID, Kulia of Architecture, Environmental Design, and I'm currently at year 2 under architecture.
Okay. We also would like to know about your mother tongue, which is Bengali, is it? Am I right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Bengali.
First of all, may we know, can you share what language do you usually speak with your family at home, or maybe with your friends and so on?
The language I usually speak with my family and friends are usually just only Bangla. English is not really a thing we speak.
Oh, does that mean that you use English sometimes, and uh you prefer to use Bengali more than English, right?
Yeah, I mean, in our culture, it's a bit weird to speak English when you can just speak Bangla.
What? Seriously?
Pretty much.
And maybe my group mates would also like to ask some questions about you,
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Esme.
So Ali, how many siblings do you have? And you are the first, the second, or the third child?
I'm the third out of 4 siblings. My younger brother and 2 older sisters. So 2 daughters and 2 sons.
So between your three siblings, which one is the one that you close? I mean, you have the most close bond and you talk the most.
Close bond, huh? But not my brother for sure. Maybe one of my sisters.
All right, thank you. So do you guys have any question to ask Ali?
Yes, I have. So you said that you are in currently year 2, right? So how's Malaysia? Do you like it?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good. It satisfies my every need. And yeah, it's pretty nice. Or would you like a more detailed answer?
No, just casual conversation.
Alright.
May I ask something about your exposure to English? Since you said that speaking English is very uncommon in your culture, because Bengali is more preferred, right? And we would like to know, like, would you say you were exposed to English mainly through school, media, or your surroundings?
I think the main exposure for English that I had when I was younger was the internet, the media, the television, those kind of things. The surrounding, not really much because, like I said, everything is Bangla over there. It's a bit weird to speak English. And for the other things, yeah, the amount of English in our country is a bit, low. So the only major exposure is really just the internet, television, those kind of things. And for the school, yeah, we had English subjects, but at the end of the day, we just spoke Bangla right after the class ended. So we didn't really do much except just grammar parts.
Okay. So since you are currently studying in Malaysia right now, do you feel like it's quite different in your country compared to Malaysia? Uh, like in your country, you usually speak in Bengali, but when you come to Malaysia, you have to speak English. Like, isn't it like feel like quite awkward for you?
Um, I wouldn't say it's awkward. It just took a lot of time for me to get used to while I was in foundation. So after around a year or so, or 6 months, I think I was okay with it. But even now, I think I prefer English over Bangla.
Okay, I think that's quite enough information about your background. I think we can moving on to the our questions, our main questions about the interview. Okay, first of all, we are going to talk about your perspective on the expanding influence of English language in your country. And based on our readings, we did some research on your language, and it says that English has become increasingly important in Bangladesh due to globalization and its role in education, business, and international communication. So the first question would be, do you think globalization has made English more important in your country?
Uh, in my opinion, if you're asking me, I would say yeah, because globalization has led to more, more modern jobs and everything else. So it's been more both as a trend and also as professional requirements. People have been inclined to learn English and speak English, get more exposure to English. So yeah, I'd say globalization has been one of the most, if not the most prominent, what you can call it, the prominent forces to drive the English in Bangladesh forward. I think that would be a good way to put it, yeah.
Okay. So the next question would be, in your opinion, what are the benefits of English becoming more common in your country? You can explain why.
Come again?
Sorry. Uh, the second question would be, in your opinion, what are the benefits of English becoming more common in your country? You may explain why.
Okay, so maybe I'll just point out a few benefits. So maybe number one would be the yeah, the one you said, globalization, right? So I think the exposure to English and the influence of English in Bangladesh is proving to be more beneficial for the people so that they can continue to, mix with the international people more, or mix with the other countries more. As you know, English is more of a general language, would be considered, right? And then on top of that, the job opportunities are getting better. The people are able to get more international or remote jobs, which are very common these days back home. People, especially the teenagers, they have been able to get higher, or you can say in a better place outside, when they go to study abroad. Malaysia or Australia, people, so places like that, right? So it makes it easier for them. Same case with me, right? I'm like a living example for that one. So I think, yeah, those are some of the few good examples of the benefit of English.
Okay, so overall, it means that English has become the one of the contributors to the jobs opportunities and so on. And I think we can move to the next question, which is we will be passing on Najwa.
All right, so let's move to the aspect two: the history, development, and current status of English in your country, Bangladesh. So, based on our research, the Bangladesh government introduced English as subject in order to develop the language skill of students. So, basically, in Bangladesh, English known as subject for primary, secondary, and tertiary education level. So, the question is, do you think studying English from childhood to university helps Bangladeshi students speak and understand English more easily?
Could you repeat the last part of it? I couldn't quite get it.
Alright, so the question: do you think studying English from childhood to university helps Bangladeshi students speak and understand English more easily?
So if I got this correct, the influence of English as a subject implemented by the government, does it help for people too, or students too?
To to learn English since a young age until university.
Okay, so does it
Do you
help to
want me
do what
to
exactly? I mean, the thing is, yeah, I'm on mobile data right now actually, so sometimes it gets cut off a bit.
do you want me to repeat the question again?
Yeah, that would be better. If you have a text version, you could write it to me on the chat, so
So
I can, read it better.
okay, so do you think studying English from childhood to university help Bangladeshi students speak and understand English more easily?
Okay, right. So, in terms of the subjects in school, like you mentioned, yeah, it is everywhere in terms of primary, secondary school studies. But I wouldn't exactly say that it helps to speak English or, learn English better, because it's just that culturally it's a bit awkward to speak English, like I mentioned, right? So in that sense, right after the English class ends, people just start returning to speaking Bangla. So speaking wise, I don't think it really helps that much because we're still exposed way more to Bangla than we're supposed to be in English, like the government intended. But I think I would say that the one place it really helps is to familiarize yourself with English. So same case for me. When I was younger, I didn't really speak English at all. But since I had those English classes, it was much easier for me to pick up English when I came here. So I would say that was one of the big benefits, I think.
All right, now we move to the second question. How does knowing English helps people in Bangladesh get into university, find better jobs, and talk with people from other countries? Because based on our research, it says that the integration of English into the education system of Bangladesh carries substantial socioeconomic implications.
Could you repeat the last part again? I'm really sorry about this.
Right, sure. Okay, how does knowing English helps people in Bangladesh get into university, find better jobs, and talk with people from other countries?
Okay. I would say I would say in Bangladesh, right? As long as you're in Bangladesh, not really exposed to English, I wouldn't. I would just say that the level of English is just really as much as it is for any average person back home, whether you learn English or not. until you go outside. So if you ask me about abroad, university abroad, like I mentioned, the learning of English back when you're younger, it helps it helps yourself to familiarize yourself with English over here and start speaking more fluently, or getting the hang of it much easier. Also, if you're able to do that, you're able to communicate better. You're also able to have a better image of yourself outside, right? So many things become more easier and more convenient compared to if you weren't able to speak English.
So does that mean that in your country, by knowing English, like really influence people to have like better opportunity in their life in terms of career or like their education, or still the same? Because as you mentioned, you just focus on the Bengali language instead.
Oh yeah, sure. Especially nowadays, right? So if you know English and you're good at speaking English, understanding English, it not only gives you the courage and also the confidence to apply for more English focused jobs, such as remote jobs, which also has better pay, but also in regular jobs, or when you can say the average jobs, right? It also enhances your CV. So it increases your chance of landing a job.
All right, I think that's all from my question. Now we can move to the aspect three, to my friends in.
Okay, so as you mentioned before, you have used to the exposure of English since your childhood, right? So, do you think it is easy to use articles such as a, and, or the in English?
Articles such as?
Um, a, the, or an?
Is this related to the two language differences in terms of like sentence and word structures?
Yes, it's something similar like that when you translate it from your language to English.
I think in terms of pretty much all word structures, I mean, if you're studying language, you know the word structures, verb, object, subject, that kind of thing. But personally, if you just ask me, right, I'm just your interviewee. If you ask me, I would say that as much as I've seen, it doesn't really affect that many people, because the thing is, if your main source of exposure to English is the social media and the internet where people are speaking perfect English, you are used to more imitating them than thinking about about the grammar, right? So as much as I've known and the people I've known, the way this way that they learn English, it doesn't really affect the grammatical part because they're not really thinking. So maybe after a while they just speak, you know, without the grammar part, without thinking like consciously about the grammar part. So the and be these things are doesn't really, play into the part anymore.
Okay, so does it mean that from people in Bangladesh often use like direct translating to English?
In terms of
Um, I mean, like, do you mean that people from your countries often direct translate from your language to English?
yeah, I would say so. I mean, something like that, yeah, pretty much.
Okay, let's move on to the next question. Um, when you translate from Bengali to English, do you actually use the word does or did? Maybe you can explain or maybe give an example.
Does or they? Mhm. I think people who are, especially the Gen Z, right? And the people who are what you guys can call like city boys, or those kind of students, young kids. I think they would use it more than more lesser learned, or more rural people, right? I think the more average people, or the more people who don't know English that good, wouldn't really go into that depths of grammar, unless it's some sort of a school kid, some private school, or those kind of things.
So you mean that not everyone actually use the word does or did when they translate it from your language to English, right?
Yeah, not everybody. It's only a certain group of people.
Okay. So why do you guys sometimes leave out small helping verbs such as is or are when speaking in English? Eh,
Why
sorry.
we don't? Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Why do you guys sometimes leave out small helping verbs such as is or are when speaking in English?
Well, it's uh, I think it's just the fact that if you're not required to speak good English, I mean, let's say if you're speaking English with the other guys, and the other guys aren't really speaking good English, and you're not speaking good English, there isn't really an obligation to do proper grammar, unless you end up speaking to a white dude or something like that. You're okay with leaving out certain words, and I think that applies to most cultures actually.
Um, yeah, in Malaysia we often do that too. Would you mind to give us some example, like a simple sentence that translate from your language to English?
Leaving out the words is or they, or just any random.
Anything, just how you usually translate it.
Okay. If I were to translate my name is Ali in English to Bangla, I would say Amar Nam Ali. So my name is Ali, and Amar means my, Nam is name, Ali is my name.
So how about a sentence like he is going to the market? How do you actually translate from your language to English?
In proper Bangla, we would say সে বাজারে যাচ্ছে. She is he. I mean, we don't say he or she. It's not a gender thing. We apply to both genders. She, bajar is the bazaar or the market. You can even say market. Jache is going to.
Oh, so you guys doesn't have like a proper pronouns, right? So both.
No.
Oh, okay. Oh my god. So sorry. Sorry. So do you think your first language or your mother tongue affects how do you use English in daily life?
I would say that if you're able to learn the grammar properly, the only thing that affects you, which is the most cases, is just the accent. So if you're used to the Bangla accent, you might speak proper English, but just in a different accent.
So when you guys are talking like from other countries, do you find it hard to understand the other person English based on their accent?
Yeah, sometimes if their accent is a bit too deep, like the some of the African brothers we have here, or some of the Australian brothers, their accent is a bit harder to understand.
Okay, so I will move on to the my other teammates to ask the question.
Sure.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. So the next question is, based on your early, like the early information about yourself, you told us that you have been studying at Malaysia for a while, right? So I would like to ask, is there where do you usually hang out with your friends? Or maybe you can just tell me about your some of the favorite place you went.
In Malaysia,
Ah, yes, in Malaysia.
I think I wouldn't be the perfect person to answer this question of yours because I don't exactly have the time to hang out with friends, so I don't hang out like that. Maybe the only time I hang out with people are at the cafe after Salah when we're eating, or when I go to the gym and then right after class or before class we just chill together. That's only for like half an hour max. So
Oh, I see. So you never like you don't went out that often?
I hardly ever go out except for to get supplies or to go to the gym. That's it.
I see. So actually, the purpose of my question is to see the use of your prepositions. Because based on our research, in Bengali, the preposition is a bit different from English. Uh,
Right.
from what I read, your preposition in Bengali is after the noun, but in English it's in front of the nouns. Basically, it's called postpositions. So, can you give me any examples where preposition in, at, above, or on in English feel different or confusing compared to your own language?
In, at, above, on.
Or maybe you can just give sentence
Okay.
from your own language, like in Bengali, and then you
Right,
directly
right.
translated it without uh using the English grammar. Direct
Okay,
literal
so
translate.
let's say pick out any random word sentence, maybe something like
Wait. I give you example like in English, the book is on the table. So in Bengali, what did you say? How did you say that?
বইটি টেবিলের উপরে.
So when you directly translate it,
To English,
yes, to English.
the book is on the table.
Uh, is it according to the sentence, word by word?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay. Then maybe I will move to the next question. In situations such as being inside a shop, which sounds more natural to you, in the shop or at the shop? Could you explain why?
What?
Sorry, I repeat again. In situations such as being inside a shop, which sounds more natural to you, in the shop or at the shop?
Both are pretty okay. If you ask me, both are pretty okay. Both sound natural. In the shop, at the shop. Yeah, both sound pretty natural actually. Just if you ask me, to me it sounds natural, both of them. I am in the shop, I am at the shop. Maybe if you're talking to somebody over the phone who's far away and asks where you are, I'm at the shop, and you wouldn't say I'm in the shop. Maybe if you're standing next to a friend who's outside the shop and asks you where you are, you would say inside the shop, in the shop. I think that might
Uh,
sound natural.
but in Bengali, is it the same translation?
In Bangla, we would just say Ami dokane, which means I am in or at the shop. So you see, we don't have the in or at, right? So we the dokan means the shop, and when we add e, right, it just plays a part of in or at. So dokane means inside, in the shop or at the shop.
But actually, if you use word by word, is it still the same with English?
Yeah, the thing is, after I translated in English, which you would say, I'm in the shop, in Bangla, after you translate it, it's just two words, Ami dokane. If you want to say, I am inside the shop, you would say, Ami dokaner bhitore. Bhitore means inside, but it's not something we usually use.
So does it mean in Bengali the preposition is in front the noun, or is it in the back? If you translate it before you translate it.
In front, right? Ami dokaner bhitore. So Ami is I, dokan is the object, and bhitore is the preposition, right? So it's after the noun.
So it's after the noun.
Mm.
Okay. So that's the actually the different from English
Oh,
because
you
in
can just
English
ask me that. Because
because in
the
English
first one was actually casual Bangla. The second one was a bit more specific.
ah so that's like the proper sentence. So
Yeah,
in
the
proper
proper specific
sentence
sentence.
where we can see the difference.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so I will move to the next questions. Actually, this one you already answered when interns ask you. You already told us that you don't have gender, like you don't specific the gender when in Bengali.
No, we don't.
So you only use she. Is it correct? She.
Yes,
I don't
she.
know how to pronounce it. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. If you want to point at somebody, she or he, we say she. If you want to say, they, we say tara. So we don't usually say we don't usually have the gender inside there.
So maybe before you like fluent in English or learn better in English, yeah, do you get confused to gender the person you are talking about?
Not
Not
really.
really.
I don't
Oh,
remember being confused.
I see. So you can actually in English you can specify the pronouns.
Yeah, in English we can just say he or she, right? But in Bangla it's a bit different.
Okay. So this is like a bit personal question. If you are okay.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. So do you have that one lecturer everyone's like? Can you describe what is he or she like?
The one lecture everybody likes.
Yeah, in your campus,
In
Switzerland is
Malaysia.
Switzerland.
anyone, any lecturer.
In Malaysia,
Yes, yes. In your college.
who does everybody like?
Sorry, university. Or maybe only you like.
Oh yeah, I like some lectures. I don't know whom everybody likes, but it's a Malaysian thing. I'm not really into the conversations. But if you ask me whom I like, I think I would say Dr. Sufyan from our first year's headmaster for our studio head. I would say it's because I find him to be the perfect balance of leniency and strictness. He's also more focused on the work, unlike some other lecturers who are, a bit more casual, a bit more stricter. I find him to be in the perfect balance. So good. It's like the perfect lecture to have if you want to have good grades, right?
I see. So your lecturer is what I say very good lah.
I would say, yeah, in simple terms, is I find him to be very good. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you. So my other friend will ask you more.
Sure.
So for the next question is, do you sometimes say English sentence the way you would in your language? Because in Bengali they use SOV, but in English they use SVO. So maybe when you just starting to talk in English, you get confused or anything.
Are you asking specifically about me or other Bangladeshi people in general?
Um, you.
Me, I know that's an issue, but I never really faced that problem, if you ask me. I just English was English for me, Bangla was Bangla for me. These two are just so different.
Um,
You can't mix them up really, you know?
different like what? Can you explain it a bit?
Yeah, like you said the subject, object, verb. These things are different. The way you speak is different. To the point, consciously it's hard to consciously, translate. So you just speak English as English, Bangla as Bangla. You don't consciously translate all of them into small details.
Oh, I see. Okay, so next question. Um, so when you speak English, do you sometimes forgot to add s at the end of the word, or you kind of like mix up the word like do and does? Does.
As far as I'm concerned, I don't remember making these grammatical mistakes
Uh,
ever since I started speaking English. It was just normal for me, I think.
so you are expert. You can say that. Okay, okay.
Not really, not at all.
So for the next question, this is just for fun. Um, between Bengali and English, which one do you think is more difficult in every terms or every aspect?
Speaking wise, or just generally?
Um, general, up to you, up to you.
If you ask me about my opinion, I think currently, after like 3 years of speaking English, like I mentioned before, I think I would just speak English and I would prefer English over speaking Bangla, right? Both speaking wise and also writing wise.
Mm,
Writing wise, obviously. Reading wise, obviously. I can read one page of
oh,
English by the time I finish one page of Bangla, I'll finish like 10 pages of English. So
oh, I
it's
see.
a bit embarrassing, but true.
Mm. So, can you teach me how to maybe say the phrase in Bangla just for fun? And for my friend to say anything, maybe you can
Uh,
teach me
any specific phrase or just I make something up?
something just like I love Malaysia, I love one shit or anything.
Okay, if you want to say I love Malaysia, I would say in Bangla, Ami Malaysia
I mean Malaysia.
Bhalobashi.
Hello, Bashi.
Yes,
Oh,
Ami is I, Malaysia is the country, and Bhalobashi is love.
oh, hello, Bashi. All right. Okay.
Wait, that means
So,
that your arrangement of what we call it SVO is different, right?
The
With
arrangement?
English. Yes, with arrangement.
Yeah.
So, do you somehow mistakenly when you speak in English, like with your family members?
Do I mistakenly speak English with the family members?
No, means like do you mistakenly put the word order when you speak in English with your family members? As you mentioned before, you just speak in Bengali because of your culture, right?
Yeah.
So have you somehow like you just like literally translate based on what's in your mind, based on the Bengali into English? So somehow you just use the same word order in Bengali.
I don't remember, not at all really, because the language is so different that it's consciously hard to translate, right? So you just speak English as English, Bangla as Bangla. So next question.
Um, Okay, so may I ask, since you came to Malaysia for study, do you sometimes go back to your hometown or you never since you came to Malaysia?
I think in the previous 3 years, I've been back twice. Yeah,
Um,
one was after foundation, and one was maybe last year Eid. I mean Ramadan. Those are the two times.
so do you sometimes like misspoke when you are talking to your family members or maybe friends in Bangladesh? Like you try to speak in Bengali, but then um, English word come out from your mouth.
So that's something embarrassing. I think previously it would have never happened. Both because I was never in good in I was previously both because I was never good in English to be able to do that. Also because it was very awkward. But nowadays I think because of the exposure to English this much, if I were to talk to somebody in Bangla, I think I would slip up like that, like every once in a while.
Okay, maybe my other teammates have another question to ask before we end this interview.
Sure, sure.
So I have one. So basically, when you are with your siblings, like as you mentioned, you have your sister, right, older sister. So when you speak with her, do you use your native language or you use English?
Oh no, definitely the native language. It's very not just awkward but weird to speak English to to another fellow Bangladeshi, right? Without purpose. That includes my sister too. So it's
So like,
very we have our own stereotypes, so
okay, so perhaps maybe back then when you go back in Bangladesh, have you ever like slipped out your English words but in Bengali structure because you are in subconscious?
oh no, that never happened. The structure part never happened, but I did slip up in while speaking Bangla, I did slip up some words in English, which did get me into a lot of criticism, but yeah, structure part never happened.
Oh, so maybe can you try translate this? Just direct translate.
Sure.
I'm sorry if I don't pronounce it correctly.
Go ahead.
Sechatro.
Come again.
Wait. Sechatro.
Can you spell it to me in English words?
So it's wait. I will type on the chat.
Yeah, I think that's better. Oh, okay. I see. I see. I mean, grammatically it's incorrect, but if I want to translate it, I would say he or she is a student.
Right. So that means that you didn't leave out the helping verbs is or am.
Second, sorry. Right. You were saying?
So that means that you don't omit the helping verbs like is, are, or am.
Uh, Come again?
No, that means that you don't like omit the helping verbs, which is, are, or am when you direct translate it.
Um, we That's why I said the sentence structure is a bit off. I think if you want to say he is a student, she chatro is a bit incomplete. I think what you would want to say instead is she ekta chatro, which would mean he is a student or he is one student.
All right. Thank you. So that means that, as you mentioned, that there are stereotype in your country, right? When you speak in English, so that's why like everyone in your country prefer to speak their native language instead. Is it correct?
Correct, yeah.
All right. Next, we move to my other team members for their question.
Um, so do you think that there is a big difference from you or your other friends in Bangladesh when speaking in English, or there's no difference?
I think speaking wise, I think there's a difference. It might just be because I've been more exposed to English than them. So I think my accent might be a bit stronger. The fluency might be a little bit better, but yeah, I think it's a bit different. It's quite natural.
Okay, thank you.
Wait, Ali, does it mean like even in your country, the government also use that what we call it Bengali as the only language, like the spoken for the administration, for the legal and everything.
No, 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 no. Spoke Most of the cases, yes, but most of the higher legal issues or professional issues, they're going to use English for that. But that's just a very small fraction of the whole part. Aside from everything else, everybody just speaks Bangla as normal.
So that means that for the education, they just focusing only for the subject English. After the English classes, just back to the normal native language, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Alright, I think we can move to my other team members.
Okay, I think the final question would be this is just a question of my curiosity. Like when you say that in Bangladesh you have a kind of stereotype where everyone speaks Bengali, and I'm just wondering, do you guys like whenever you guys speak Bengali, do you have like words mixing or word switching? Like for example, when I'm talking to Americans, I would still use like English mixing with Malay language. Do you guys use the same, or it is very uncommon in your country?
I think most people wouldn't do it, except some people who are more exposed to English. I think, for example, me, if I were to speak right now, I would maybe slip up some words, mix up some English inside. I think it's just a matter of comfort, at that point. So when you forget some Bangla words, you don't know how to express them. You just shift on to another language you're more comfortable with.
Okay, I think that's all. There's no more questions. I think we can. Eh, one more question. Najwa would like to ask something.
Wait, for you, do you find it's difficult in grammar for English? In grammar aspect, when you learn English, do you think it's hard?
When I learned English in terms of the grammar aspect,
Yes, because as you mentioned before, that in your country, just as you mentioned, you guys have stereotype, right? So everyone like speak in just Bengali as a native, and everything just in Bengali, right? So have you ever faced like difficulty when you learn English, like in terms of maybe grammar or like phonological, the way you pronounce it? Which one is the most challenging?
no, I mean, I've studied at a private school, so we had our English classes, and grammar was one of the main parts of the language of the subject, right? So we had the grammar knowledge, though didn't we didn't get the chance to apply it until I came here. So which made it much easier to speak English with proper grammar, I think. Decently proper grammar.
All right, that's such an interesting. Thank you for your sharing.
You're welcome.
Okay, I think. I think based on our interviews, I think the major issue of language barrier, if you are, let's say you are in a crowd of English speakers, would you say that the major issue would be your accents, because sometimes people just uh couldn't understand someone because of your heavy accents, or yeah.
In my case, I don't exactly remember how I spoke when I started speaking English first. I don't think I ever had the Bangladeshi accent, I would say. Maybe a little bit or maybe half of it, but not fully. But now, currently, I don't think I would have that kind of an accent when I speak. So when I was younger, maybe that might have been a little problem, but now I'm not. I don't think that. I don't think that's going to be a problem.
Okay, I see. I think that's all for today. Thank you for spending your time with us, and thank you for your contribution for our assignment. And any any last message to Ali before we end our interview?
Wait, Ali, I'm so curious because you mentioned you went to private school, right? So, do you have any friends that went to public schools that learn English? And do you notice any differences when you talk with them?
Mm, I can't remember of any. I mean, obviously I had them, but maybe I forgot their names. But yeah, I mean, their English wasn't that far off, to be honest. It's pretty similar. Because even though if we have the knowledge of the grammar, we both had the equal chance of not being able to speak English. So the accent, the speaking was the same.
So, does that mean in your country, English can be seen as like the status of someone because of the, like as you mentioned that English is like language that you guys rarely talk, so it can refer as the status of someone.
In some cases, yes. In some cases, no. That's where the stereotype comes in, right? So it's a partial thing. For some cases, it does act as a really nice, you know, status in terms of people's eyes. In some cases, it's a very bad sort of stereotype that you might have.
All right, now I understand. Okay, thank you for your sharing and your information. I think I have nothing to
You're
ask. Any other members?
I think there's no more questions from us. We I think we can end our interview session. Just as I mentioned, thank you for spending your time with us and so on. That's all from us for
Thank you for
today.
inviting
Thank you
me.
so much.
You're
Guys, say
Thank
welcome.
you,
thank you.
Ali. Have a nice
Thank
day.
you, Ali.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank
You
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 for
may
your
leave the
I'll be
call.
time.
taking my I'll be
Bye.
taking my leave then, inshallah.
All right.
Okay.
Have
Bye.
a good rest. Thank you. Thank you for spending your time.
Idiot.
Nothing. Nothing.
Anyway, interview and
Eh,
Oh,
record.
sorry.
Tadi dah tu kan? Belum eh?
Belum.
Gila.
Weh, nak dekat
Okay dah.
sejam weh.